Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Raise the microphones on. Call this meeting to order. Looking for approval of the agenda.
So move. I'll second.
Motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Approved, motion carries. Number two, approve the minutes of January 20th, 2025.
I'll make a motion. They read very well, I think. I'll second.
Motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Item number one, Iowa Community Assurance Pool 2025 Courthouse Insurance Renewal. Josh?
All right. Can we stand or can I sit or what,
You can sit.
Either one.
Either one.
whatever works for you guys?
Want to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I'm Josh Axman, the insurance agent for Mid-Iowa Insurance and Real Estate. And we are the agent for the ICAP property and liability insurance policy and the IMWCA work comp policy. All right. And you guys all got the packets you said that we sent over? All right. And yeah, like I said, if you guys ever want to go more in depth, you can always give us a call or stop by our office or whatever. Yeah, we put together this kind of a shorter summary of the like I said, the policy is probably 200 plus pages long. So we've kind of just summarized the key points of what the renewal is doing. So the renewal is kind of broken into two parts. We have the first part's basically all the assets that the county owns and the property that we insure. And then the second part is the premium summary that we put together that kind of breaks down the difference between last year's renewal versus this year's. And I'll just give a brief summary of ICAP. So, because Mark, I know this is your first time on this. So, but ICAP started kind of in the late 80s. We were kind of in a similar insurance climate that we are in today with rising prices and companies kind of pulling out of the market. So that left a lot of municipalities with no coverage and no way to do that. So a group of guys went to the legislature and kind of changed the laws so that they could form these pools. And so I think 80 some member or fast forward to today, there's like 80 plus counties that are insured through ICAP and IMWCA. Then there's another pool, I think it's called the Heartland Pool, that's got 10 members. A couple of the bigger counties like Polk and some of the bigger ones are self-insured. They kind of do their own pool. And I think there's like less than a handful that are with like a standard insurance company. So ICAP really kind of bailed out the industry there. But ICAP, there's no profit motive. It's all member owned. So, Carroll County is a member owner of the company along with a bunch of cities and other counties. So that's just kind of a brief history of ICAP.
So ICAP, you said they're all combined in kind of one pool that say something happens at Calhoun, it's your same pool takes
Exactly.
all those people.
So our premium dollars get put in a pool, and yeah, like
Gotcha.
we might have storms or like your Greenfield or that ones that
Yep.
you really wiped out.
Okay.
That's where and I don't, if you guys took it, I'm just guessing you probably skipped to the back of the premium. It's up about a little under 3% this year, but with all the increased storm activities and we still got some pretty high inflation. I think that's pretty solid here. So we'll start with the third page is the location schedule. So that just goes through all of the locations that we have insurance for the county. That's all and then we've got after that the statement of values. So this is all the coverages that we have on each location. So it breaks it down by building. We've got contents in the building. If there's autos listed there, or like the first one, like the secondary roads, we've got the equipment there. And all the buildings and stuff are on replacement cost, full replacement cost. We've got the deductibles listed there. But there is an inflation guard, so the coverages go up by about 2% each year to cover the cost of inflation. ICAP's already announced that they're going to do either this year or next year. They're going to kind of do it in chunks of counties, but they're going to send out inspectors and go through, the not every single building, but the higher value buildings to make sure that we've got adequate coverage on there. So I'm guessing that they'll come up with some probably higher values than we've currently got, just because the last couple of years the inflation's kind of gotten a little out of control. So they assume that we're, you know, they're maybe a little bit undervalued on some of the buildings. So
So is that going to increase the premium or is that included in?
I'm guessing that will increase this will be for next, this isn't for yeah, it's all, everything's set for
So
this
good
year.
news for now, but,
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
news
not
is
for-
bad news is coming.
but
Yeah, just to set you up for possible
Exactly.
bad news next year. But yeah, so they want to, but it's for the benefit of all members, you know, we you know, they want to.
Well, I'm sure most of them, all the valuations haven't kept up with what's cost.
Right, exactly. So there's a 2% inflation guard, like I said, but that really doesn't keep up with the way things have been going the last 3 or 4 years. So just so you're aware that that's come, like I said, it's either this year or next year, depending on when Carroll County kind of gets drawn from the inspection list, I guess you could say. So yep. So, and like I said, if we ever want to go more in depth on this, I'm just going to kind of give a brief high level overview, but if you ever have any questions on any of that, we can certainly go through that. But after the buildings, we've got the schedule of property. So this is all of the equipment that we've got in each building. So like we've got all the secondary roads equipment. And then, yeah, all the equipment for each building, Swan Lake, courthouse, everything there. And we get these from the department heads as they buy and sell equipment. We update that. On the next, if you go to 15, it gets to the liability portion. So we've got a $5 million liability policy, which covers all the auto liability if there's any auto claims. There's coverage for like the police liability, which covers the sheriff's liability for public officials. So we've got $5 million liability on that. After that, we've got the auto schedule. So this is all of the vehicles that the county has insured. There's one thing that I wanted to bring up on this. We've never really had a policy for when we take off full coverage from a vehicle. So I didn't know if basically we just keep full coverage on everything kind of forever. It's not a huge deal because a lot when vehicles generally get older, a lot of times they'll swap them out for new ones before they get that old. But we do have a few older like pickups and trailers and things like that. So I didn't know if we wanted to discuss possibly policy for like if a vehicle gets 10 or 15 years old, like if we want to look at removing full coverage off there.
I think we should. We've got some that are kind of crippling along that. probably
Yeah, so
need
I
coverage.
had marked a cut like we got like we've got a couple trailers that I think are from like the early 90s, I want to say. And obviously we don't want to do that for like semis and like dump trucks and things like that hold their value longer, but or like we've got like a 2011 Jeep Liberty and a
Is there a way you can get us that list and we do talk to the department heads probably?
yeah, absolutely.
Or should we just send out a letter to all the department heads saying, unless you have told us different, your vehicle is fully covered.
Yeah.
Does it need to be?
And maybe if they're putting a ton of, they're putting 25,000 miles on a year, maybe they want to keep, maybe it's worth it to keep full coverage in it. But if they got an old pickup that just sits around, it might be worth looking at, and if you want to, I don't know how we want to do that, but we'll send you the list again of all the vehicles we've got and,
Well, we got the list, but I
Oh,
mean, the
yeah.
ones that you kind of identifying, I'd like to see that list.
okay, yeah. And I just
Would you
circled
Yeah, I
a
think
couple
we-
of them.
I
Just to, if we want to, like I said, if we want a blanket policy of, if that's after 15 years, on just standard, private passenger autos.
I think it should come from the auditor, have her send out a letter that says, everybody, please review, like, Sarah, you've got your assessor car. That's probably, I know it's getting old and you're already putting money in the capital fund for it. So we're looking at replacing it, but there's several that, yeah, I think
Yeah.
it should come.
And maybe it's
Yeah.
easier to budget, if we just keep it full coverage on all the time. But like I said, if we're looking to.
Because it won't
stay-
add up to a lot, but it will.
Right, yeah, just something to possibly look at. So that was something I wanted to bring up on there. And then, so after the vehicles, then we've got the premium summary comparison. So we break it down by what the coverages were in 2024 versus the renewal, and then the premiums, so you can kind of see what was paid last year versus what was paid this year. And this it's going to look a little weirder this year because in May we discussed the county had another policy for all the road graders, the secondary road graders, and we discussed it with the other agent, and it just made more sense to coverage wise and premium wise to cancel that policy and switch that all over to the ICAP policy. There was better liability limits, and like I said, it was a little more cost effective to do it that way. So on May 5th, we canceled that old policy with the other company, and we added those all to the ICAP policy. And then on the blanket buildings and contents, there's that 2% inflation guard, so the coverage is up a little bit, but the premium is pretty well flat. So that's a big improvement over what we've seen the last few years there.
So what is the marketing and administration fee?
That is, so with ICAP being a pool, they don't operate as like a standard insurance company. So it like I said, it's a pool of all the members together. And but they have to have like they have to have hire claims adjusters and inspectors and underwriters and agents. So they basically listed out where it was a normal insurance company wouldn't list out like what the administrative expenses were to run the program. They put that in the.
It's basically the overhead that you guys are incurring to run the program.
Exactly. Yes. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
thank
So
you.
yeah. So whereas an insurance company would just boil that all into the premiums, yeah, ICAP lists out separate and kind of divvies it up among the members depending on how large their premium is essentially. Yeah, and then we've got the general auto and professional liabilities up slightly, and then the auto physical damage is up a little bit too. But we did add, I think there was 4 or 5 vehicles that we added over the course of the year. And with ICAP, when you add or remove a vehicle during the course of the year, they don't add that, they don't charge you, if you add another vehicle, they don't charge you $1,500 or whatever it costs to add a new vehicle. They just eat that essentially for the year and then tack it on to the next renewal. So like I said, overall it is up just under 3%, but I think that's with the increased, all the increased property that we had and then the newer vehicles. I think it's a big win over the last year. And we do our due diligence just to check out the market, just to see if there's any other companies that that would be willing to offer quotes. And really there's only been one other company that's entered into the municipality space, and they are not offering. There's really no other companies that are offering quotes this year to any new people. So I think we're very fortunate to be with ICAP. Regardless of how many claims we have, they, if you're willing to work with them to not have quite as many claims, they're not going to drop you, which a normal insurance company would. So any questions on that so far? All right, and then the only other thing that we had, I printed off this option. I had ICAP run another quote. So one coverage that they're pushing this year, a lot of members have been asking for it, is the cyber liability coverage. So that's about $8,500 for the cyber coverage, and we don't have to do it, but it was just something that a lot of other members have brought up that they're interested in. So that would cover like basically if we had a cyber hacking attack or something like that. We've had other clients that have had people hack into their systems.
Ransomware.
Exactly. Yes. Your ransomwares, your phishing scams is what they're called too, where you have like a supplier that you're working with a lot, and they send you an email invoice. We've had people it just looks like you click on it and you pay it online, but it didn't come from that. They steal
We
You know.
we didn't have that. I thought we had that.
I don't believe that there was on there. We just had them quoted this year as a newer,
What's the technical term for that?
site reliability coverage
reliability.
is what it's
It's on
called.
this sheet right here.
Like I said, if you guys want to, just discuss, adding that, that's a new coverage that they'd be kind of rolling out and pushing this year. So, just something to think about there. And then, I had them quote a couple different deductibles. A $15,000 to $20,000 deductible on the property. There wasn't a ton of savings, going up to the higher deductible options. On the property, but then on the auto physical damage, we're currently at 500 comp, 1,000 collision on the auto. And so I had them quote the next with the next step up for ICAP was 2,500 comp and collision. There's about a $12,500 savings to go up to that deductible. So essentially, if you had less than like 7 or 8 auto claims a year, that you'd be saving some money there. So there was a little more of a savings with the going up the deductible in the auto physical damage route there versus the property. But yeah, just wanted to quote all those out just so you guys could take a look and see if there was any other route that we wanted to go there.
How soon do you need to know this?
Well, we can always we can change it anytime. We're
I think there's something that'll be
What?
done.
I think so
Talking
too.
about some rest.
I agree. But it
And
says that,
I'm in favor of that cyber liability because that's a big issue anymore.
yeah, it is. And we,
And I actually honestly thought we had that. I might be thinking of new opportunities. Is where I was thinking about.
yeah. And then, like I said, most insurance companies have rolled it. ICAP's kind of been a little late to the game to roll this out, but yeah, that's something that a lot of the members have gone with this year. So, just something to think about.
it says the coverage period though is February 1st, when that starts, which
So the policy goes February 1st of 25 to February 1st of 26. So, like I said, if you,
like we need to send the letter to the department heads and talk to our IT director Dalton about the cyber coverage.
he'd be a good one to talk to about that.
Maybe next week we can put that on the agenda. Emily, if you want to write that down. So the overall, it's okay. Last year we had a budget amendment, I think it's 40,000.
44,000.
Yeah, and I think this year, we did budget, expecting an increase, and I think the increase you're proposing is less than we budget. Not that that takes the sting off.
Better than last year.
Not that it takes the sting out of it, but it's,
Yeah.
I think last year Terry was the presenter, so maybe it's something to do. with
I
that.
think you ought to match our health insurance.
Huh?
I think you ought to match our health insurance,
That's true.
right?
Did I say that?
What's that?
You ought to match our health insurance, only up 0.58%.
That's pretty good. It's not bad.
Okay, we'll put it on the agenda for next week and make
Yep.
those.
And then last thing, I sent you the list of claims too. We can't really go through any claims here for confidentiality reasons, but if you ever have any, more in-depth questions about, or what, have a question about a particular claim, give us a call or stop by the
Absolutely.
office and we can always,
But why does this
Go through
list
that.
go back so far?
what's that?
Why does this go
It's
back?
a 5-year
Okay,
loss
it's just-
history.
it's
They always do. But pretty much all insurance companies do a 5-year loss history to,
So it's
that's
the
kinda how
rolling
they-
average, basically.
right, exactly. Yep.
So Mark, I did sit down with Terry when I first started and went through all 5 years just to understand what the claims that were paid out were.
I'll give Josh something to do. I'll do that too.
There we go.
Any more questions?
All right.
Thanks, Josh.
Yep, thank you, guys.
Informative.
Item number 2, acknowledge jail inspection letter. Speaking of cyber hacks, I got this letter and it said, "Dear Chairman Johnson." I thought, who is that? That was the first time I've seen that, but the jail did get inspected on the 14th of January. And this letter is from Delbert Langley, who is the chief jail inspector. And his comments were, the Carroll County Jail is new, clean, well-managed, well-maintained facility. No findings, one minor observation that has been completed. And he said he wishes to express his appreciation to Sheriff Kent Angry, Chief Deputy John Gretzinger, Jail Supervisor Patty Mendenhall, and the entire staff of Carroll County Jail for their assistance during the inspection. So I just thought that was worth noting. Item number 3, approve depository resolution. Good morning, Lisa Wagner.
So this is just something that's done every year in January and is basically get the approval of the board of the financial institutions that the county has money in. So I have a list there that shows what the amounts were and the maximum will be for the year. And I just have to have the approval by the board.
So I'm going to name them real quick. Avila Bank, Commercial Savings Bank, Templeton Savings Bank, Iowa Savings Bank, United Bank of Iowa, Carroll Branch location, Westside State Bank, First National Bank, IPAIT, and Breda Savings Bank. So-
You don't usually do anything with IPIAT, do you?
There is money there that's been there for years.
Is there?
Yep. Mhm.
And and I think I know the answer to this, but why is there, you fluctuate year to year on different banks?
Well,
Is
the
it
ones
due-
have gone
most-
down,
it-
depending on like if your money's sitting there in CDs and stuff. And like the one Avela's, I look back and the highest we had last year was in October after collecting taxes. We had sitting in there close to 20 million. So we have to meet that maximum for that, even if it's 1, 2, 3 days because of the year. So, and
But
then-
isn't it also maybe due to what their interest rates are
yes,
too?
yes, yep.
That's
And,
why,
and that's why, I haven't dropped some of them off because when I go around and do CDs and stuff, I'll ask the different banks. So,
I'll make a motion to approve.
second,
Okay, there's a motion and second. Emily, roll call, please.
Scott Johnson,
Yes.
Gene Miners,
yes,
Mark McCray.
Yes,
Will you note the 2 absent and then I'll sign that after the meeting?
Yep.
Okay, Lisa, while you're here.
okay, so.
Item
next-
number 4.
Yeah.
Treasurer's semi-annual report.
Okay, so this is something actually we do every month in my office after we get done doing bank reconciliation. We make sure the items that we follow are in suit, and then Courtney, I believe, looks at the same, her items that she makes sure and checks and balances. And then every 6 months, we have to submit the semi-annual to the board. As of right now, this is going from the period of July 1 through December 30th. Bank recon has been done, everything's in line, and we are in balance. Any questions?
that's a good thing.
I have none.
I'm not either.
We need to approve it, so we need a motion and second.
you can make a motion. I'll make a motion.
That was second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Approved, motion carries.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Item number 6, payables. And I think that the original amount was 187,190,000. $187,190. And I think we are going to hold on to one for further clarification, which was 4,225, if I remember.
Yep.
So I'm looking for a motion to approve $182,965.88.
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
So motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Approved plats. We have one that was requested or that's owned by Marty and Dee Halber. This is northwest of 310th and Twilight. And it looks like, I mean, it's kind of a little bit confusing the way the plat is versus the aerial, but it looks like they're separating out perhaps a hog confinement and some timber behind it.
Well, I think it looks to me like they're following that creek.
It does.
I think I think there's,
But the
I
aerial
would
looks different
assume,
than-
I would assume there's some swap of ground, so they don't have to cross that river. That's what I think is going on. If you look at it.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the plat.
And I'll second.
All right, there's a motion and a second to approve the plat for Marty and Dee Halber. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Item number 7, set public hearing for fiscal year 25 budget amendment. And this is, you want to explain it, Emily?
No.
It's basically, I believe, to cover the overtime. Well, there's two service areas. General basic, the medical examiner, we're transferring $20,000 because you can't predict those costs. And I think we are budgeting more in fiscal year 26 for that. And the other one, a capital project. The new ambulance is going to be arriving early, so we're switching money. I think there was a $4,000. If we paid when they received the chassis, there would be a $4,000 discount. So the company that puts the box on didn't have to hold it. So that's for $127,000. So the total amount for the public hearing is $207,000. And I believe Courtney wanted that to be February 10th
Yep, February 10th at 9.
at 9 a.m. So she'll put out the public notifications and looking for a motion to approve the date for the public hearing
And time.
Huh?
And time.
and time.
I'll second. Well, you didn't approve it?
No, I didn't.
I'll make a motion to
There
approve
you
that.
go.
Sorry.
I'll
I'm
second.
just used to saying second so far all day today. I'm just taking second all the time.
There's a motion and a second. Set a public hearing for fiscal year 25 budget amendment for February 10th at 9 a.m. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 8, accept, acknowledge Carroll County zoning 2-mile zoning commission 2-mile recommendation. Sarah, good morning.
Good morning, Sarah Haverhill, Carroll County Zoning Administrator. Happy Monday. So I drafted up a letter after our meeting and I'm just going to go ahead and read that for you guys. So Carroll County Board of Supervisors on December 16th, 2024, you, the Carroll County Board of Supervisors, asked the Carroll County Zoning Commission to give you an answer on these 3 options for considering the 2-mile agreement. Specifically regarding the city of Carroll, the options being keep the 2-mile and have the city express their opinion of the application, and then the county would have final say about the application and follow county permits. 2, move the 2-mile agreement to 1 mile with the same options as above. Or 3, eliminate the 2-mile 2080 agreement and go to the 1/4 mile area around the city limits. On Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025, the Carroll County Zoning Commission held a public hearing where it was voted to recommend that the Carroll County Board of Supervisors abolish all current 28E 2-mile zoning agreements with incorporated municipalities in Carroll County, being the city of Carroll and the city of Glidden. The city of Carroll's 28E began as a memorandum of understanding on November 19th, 1984, and then it was amended and filed as a 28E agreement on March 6th of 1990 at the Carroll County Recorder's Office, and it is recorded as Book 83, page 41. The city of Glidden's 28E agreement was filed on September 16th, 1993 at the Carroll County Recorder's Office and is recorded as Book 114, page 365. It is also recommended that the areas that are not currently zoned ag within those 2-mile areas be zoned to a comparable zone per Carroll County ordinances and given a 12-month timeframe where the owners of the parcels being rezoned can apply to change their zoning without having to pay the current rezoning fee if they do not agree with the zoning proposed.
That's $50.
It is $50 to meet for that. So if this is approved by the Carroll County Board of Supervisors, the Carroll County Zoning Administrator would send letters out with those who that would affect.
Can we name the 3 properties? The one east of Van Wall on Highway 71,
Um,
Once Auto Salvage.
There's more than 3.
Okay,
We have 3 in the city of Carroll 2-mile, and then we have multiple within the city of Glidden. I do have a list of those parcel numbers, which I have on this sheet right here, and I can give to the public, whoever needs them. But like I said, those people would be notified if this were to change. I didn't send them saying, hey, they were changing now because nothing has been voted on. But yes, you have Quantz Auto Salvage. Here, there's one north of town. And then we also have, what was the other one?
one east of Iowa Corn Processors is Glidden.
Is Glidden, yep. And then there's also like residential area and farm ground there that they have currently zoned for residential that could either be ag or residential. So I figured that would be the most appropriate way to have those zoned, is to make sure people still want what it's currently zoned, or if they disagree with what the county is and see something better fit, they can apply for it.
So the zoning commission voted, their vote was,
Their vote was to abolish the 28Es, all current ones that the city or the county has with any cities, which were the city of Carroll and the city of Glidden. That was their recommendation.
so today we're going to accept or acknowledge that you have spoken to us, and then we'll put it on
Yep.
next Monday, February 3rd agenda to
Yep.
take action on the 2-mile zoning in with both cities and the parcels that Sarah described.
You're gonna do it that quick?
Yeah, I contact the county attorney. We don't have to do public hearings or,
Okay.
and we'll have a full board next Monday is why I was thinking.
Good idea.
And I will not be present next Monday. I'll be at a class. So if anybody has any questions or would like any documentation, just go ahead
Okay.
and shoot me some messages.
2 a week or 2.
I think then he's gone.
Oh, yeah,
Does anybody, do you have a question? Go ahead and come up and introduce yourself and.
that's fine.
I think that one's on too.
It's on, yeah.
Okay.
Scott, Marty Danzer. I talked to some of the city or the people, the citizens in that 2-mile area. And the reason we want it to go back to the supervisors, because we feel we have more input talking with the supervisors and dealing with the city. So that's kind of the input that we want to put in today.
Okay.
So thank you.
Great idea.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it'll evidently be 2 different resolutions, and the county attorney was gonna draft the language for him. But yeah, I was thinking it would be public hearings and publications, and evidently not so much.
So the purpose of part of this intent is this way, we're gonna abolish this 2-mile thing. And then if the city, and which I'm a little disappointed, we have never gotten any official response from them on what their wishes are. I think it's time for, this is a point in time where they need to make that response to us if they want to do that. Or after we abolish it, then
Then
they
they can
still, they
propose
can
something
still
new.
propose something new yet.
And when we say abolish, that word sounds bad.
Yeah.
Basically, we are going to the default state law, which is the 1/4-mile urban transition between municipalities and rural. So we're going to, yeah, we're not taking anything away, so to speak, from state law. We're not restricting anything.
No, and that's what our other municipalities have, is that 1/4 mile. So, and we've worked very well with the cities in regards to anything that falls there. I go ahead and I send those the building permits and those plats if there was a rezoning. And I worked with those city councils.
Good morning, Lisa
morning.
Danzer.
Right, Lisa?
Just wanted to make a comment that this has gone on for 6-ish months, so it's not that everybody didn't have an opportunity to go and voice opinions, which many of us have come to the supervisors. We've also gone to city council meetings. Unfortunately, they don't allow you to talk at the city council meetings. I don't know when you're supposed to have discussion with them if you can't.
The earliest date I saw was March 2nd last year was when, and that was on a
Yeah,
petition.
so it's
that
almost
was
a year
presented.
ago then.
But I don't know if that's when people started signing the petition or if it was when it was presented. But
Yeah, but as far as presentation, they've had ample opportunity, and at the city council meetings that we attended, a couple of them just implied that they wanted to keep it as is. And, you know, they
Well, this will be a
weren't
chance.
allowing to
If
listen.
they want to come back
anything
to a
else.
1 mile, a 1/2 mile, maybe a building permit fee structure that would be different than it is now, this will be their chance they can do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that they're, I'm hoping that we can find some common grounds. I do think the current thing we have is too big of an area. But I can see where you have bigger cities that are expanding real drastically, that you'd have to have something like this, but I do not see this big of an area needed in this area. But I would like to, sure it'd be nice to hear some official comment back from the other side. As you know, most you know that I try to work with both sides, and I will say this again, we got to remember, we also represent the city too. So,
At the same time, we haven't heard anything from the city.
no,
either.
that's my
So,
frustration.
My opinion, they don't care about it, I guess,
Yeah.
if they haven't replied back, but
Well,
that's my opinion.
I still like to have something.
It's been
but,
on there for quite a long time and we have not heard a thing from them, so
but
shame
anyway,
on them if they wanted, they should have been here sooner to talk to us and worked with us.
Well, I guess that's my final
Nope.
warning shot to them.
That's fine.
So we acknowledge that we accepted. We acknowledge that you received it. It'll be on next week's agenda and I don't think we need a formal motion. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, sir. Item number 9, committee reports.
I can go first. Had a meeting with the Child Area Care Daycare Center on Monday. They're currently only half capacity. They'd like to have 14 more staff. So if anybody's looking for a job, they could use a lot more staff. They've got plenty of people waiting for their turn to get into the system, but they just don't have the staff to do it. And also met with St. Anthony's Eric, I believe his name.
CFO, yeah.
CFO, and they're gonna try to work something out. Maybe we can work together with the St. Anthony's. I think you've all heard about the money they grant they've got to put in childcare. So they actually are willing to work with the Child Area Care, which would be awesome if they would do that. So anyway, then Wednesday night, have the zoning commission meeting I attended here. Thursday, I did a tour with Sheriff Pingree on the jail. I hadn't seen it since it was complete. And then went to legislative forum on Saturday, and then I rode with John Kretzinger on Saturday evening. Also got a feel for what they do in their evening jobs. So that's all I had this week. Got a safety meeting on Tuesday, a conference board meeting, budget meeting with Sarah on Wednesday, and then a statewide supervisors meeting on Thursday in Des Moines.
And to everybody who's going to attend the conference meeting on Wednesday, there are some tabs at the bottom that have a lot of valuable information. We need to make sure we all open those because you can come back up. I'm sorry, it is.
Change that to Tuesday.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't think I changed mine. Thank you for letting me know. I showed up Wednesday.
Yeah, I do have it on Tuesday. Thank you.
Okay, you
Go ahead.
finished?
Okay.
Tuesday, we had CCGP board meeting. Wednesday, we attended the P and Z meeting. Friday was up at the Yes Center at Cherokee, the Juvenile Detention Center. Basically, we had election of officers. Officers all stayed the same, and also the executive board all stayed the same, which includes myself. But we also added the alternate was Bryce Peterson because of the Cherokee supervisor that changed jobs up there. So he was added on. They had an average for the month of 8.41. And as of Friday, they had 6. And also after the board meeting, being we had some new members, some of us did take a tour of the facility. And so, which is short and interesting, but good doing. One other thing, they're starting to do their own meals unless they get a higher account. In the past, they've gotten their meals from over at the Mental Health Institute brought over. So they're trying to cut some costs there and doing their own now until they get too many staff, then they have to get them from the mental health kind of staffing ratios. And then Saturday, I attended the legislative forum. This week, this afternoon, I have a Zoom meeting with new opportunities in order to negotiate fees for an architect for the building in Waukee. And Tuesday night is also policy council, and which I won't be there because we have the conference board at the same time on Tuesday night. And Thursday will be at ISAC and supervisors. And then I'll have to leave a little early and come back for a board meeting at New Opportunities. And that's my week, and I'll stick to it.
Last week, Tuesday, I emailed all of us the current elected salary survey from ISAC. And I included in that the 6 neighboring counties that touch us and the 5 above and 5 below in population. So hopefully you take a good hard look at that. And then Tuesday at noon, I attended CCGP board meeting. Wednesday evening was a Board of Adjustment organizational meeting. After that was the zoning commission meeting. On Thursday, I went out to secondary roads and went through claims. And I did meet with Sarah on some zoning that's happening on 210th and Jade that is now still in the 2 mile. Friday, I went through courthouse claims. I did go to the chamber coffee at Kemper. Mark, I saw you there at for Catholic Schools Week. And there was another chamber coffee at Fairway for Brian Baumover's retirement. And then I did get a phone call from a local contractor who actually walked the entire Drain 77. And we should get a quote from him this week, but he saw all the orange X's on the trees. So maybe we can take some action on that yet this winter or spring before the ground thaws. Saturday was a legislative forum at New Hope. It was nice to hear that they didn't beat us up on property taxes too bad. It sounds like they're gonna, well, yeah, I guess they don't know where they're headed. They've only 2 weeks into session. Today I have newspaper radio. 11:30, I have RSVP meeting. Tonight at 5:15 is Carroll City Council meeting. Tomorrow is the Safety Committee meeting upstairs at 9 a.m. Tomorrow night is the Conference Board pre-budget. And Wednesday, I'm having a meeting with Mark Campbell, the new director of North Central Iowa Regional Solid Waste Agency at our recycling center. He wants to do, maybe get some best practices from out there. Thursday, there's a RSVP come and go open house at 1 o'clock. And Friday is a chamber coffee at Anytime Fitness. Any questions? Emily, next week, we got a,
So there you have a funding request. Manning House Farm, you're going through some budgets, the treasurer budget, IT budget, the auditor, and all her miscellaneous budgets. And then if you do the ICAP discussion here, and then the action on the 2 mile. So far.
that sounds what I'm seeing too. All right, any comments from those in attendance? I don't see anything online. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
You gotta have some time. I'll say second.
There's a motion, and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed, meeting adjourned.
There were ones in North Carolina from there.
So on your keyboard, you go up here and hit.
You know what it's like. It's on the thing, I just looked at it.
It's up in the 70s.
Right, Scott, it says it.
I know, it's-
Huh?
It's on the right where it says